What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Zyberknight here, aka Kevin, your Tech and Game Crusader, and we're going to take a look today at the patch notes for 1.2 to see what all they have changed and adjusted and added. And we have an update on the patch itself. Will be available later today on the 30th of April for PS4 and Xbox One, and it won't be available until after Golden Week is done in Japan, May the 6th, for the Switch. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look and see here what this is all about. Make me shrink. Alright. Let's go ahead. Take a look. So we have April 30th, 2019, patch 1.2, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, and this is on the website for the game, battleforthegrid.com. We have general bug fixes. We have fixed an issue in rare edge cases where gravity isn't turned back on properly from air blocking. Fixed issue where certain characters were able to cancel out of their air block animation. Okay, so that means Goldar no longer has that infinite loop that he can get away with dodging combos. System-wide combat changes. So we have across the board juggle adjustments, several problematic attacks that allowed repeatable juggle sequences have had their juggle limiter penalty value increased in order to mitigate the amount of juggle loops that can be performed in certain combos. Super meter gauge. Meter gain has been decreased across the board by about 25%. Super attacks and EX attacks also grant much less gauge to the victim. Megazord attacks now grant reasonable super gauge to the defender on hit and block. Examples being given: Dragonzord's drill light attack no longer completely fills up the victim's super meter. Additionally, they ignore the juggle limiter override system. Megazord attacks can no longer be summoned during certain juggle and stagger states if a player with their Megazord mode activated is being hit or in a combo. They're now unable to mash out a Megazord attack until they're in a recovering or actionable state. Meter-based attacks like supers, swap strikes, and EX attacks now ignore the juggle limiter system, playing through and guaranteeing their hits when executed at the end of lengthy combos. The initial hits of most multi-hit attacks no longer trigger the juggle limiter override system. EX attacks increased invincible frames across the board to reduce the likelihood of assist attacks blowing through phase 1 of the attack, although phase 2 is always vulnerable. Alright, so that's something you guys were asking me about in comments previous videos. So it looks like they actually did take care of that. So to the person who, or 3 people who had asked about that, there you go. That's fixed. You can no longer switch between characters and continue hitting on multiple characters at the same time, touch of death style. So that looks like that's a good thing to finally get fixed. Okay, continuing on. Most EX attacks across the board have had their block advantage decreased significantly, making them much easier to punish. EX attacks now only trigger their follow-up phases when successfully connecting with the enemy leader and never against an enemy assist. Swap strikes and EX attacks, all target combo enders, can be canceled into any meter-based attack. Examples given are Red Ranger can perform light, and on hit or block, he can then cancel into swap strike, EX attack, or super. Wow, that definitely changes up some stuff right there. Swap strikes can now OTG against certain knockdown states such as sentry's forward throw, e.g. example given is forward throw into swap strike, is a valid combo now. Okay. OTG is off the ground. Means knocking a character off the ground or getting up off of the ground. Most characters can now air special cancel their jumping, light, medium, and heavy attacks. So it looks like no longer Cenozoic Blue is the only character that can air special cancel light, medium, and heavy attacks. But he is still the only character that can blink all light, medium, and heavy attacks in the air. So that's cool. Alright, all anti-air attacks such as Red Ranger's Crouching Heavy and Mastodon Sentry's Back Medium have been added as reversal attacks so that they can be used when from wake up and recovery states, allowing defenders to counter oppressive meaty jump attack strategies along with instant overhead mix-ups. You can tell that a fighting game community person wrote this. Meaty means a confirmed heavy attack or a hard attack. Alright, assist attacks removed most landing invincibility frames across the board. This is balanced around the functionality of the assist. For instance, utility lockdown assists like Mastodon Sentries are easier to interrupt, while defensive assists like Lord Drakens remain invulnerable for a significant time. Okay. Assists now automatically leave after 5 seconds when their leader is no longer in play, preventing infinite assist loops. Yes! Alright. A bunch of you guys on that one were really frustrated with the game over that, feeling like it was a bug, and apparently they realized it and fixed it, so good on them. All wake-up states now have 1 frame of throw invulnerability to give defenders a chance to jump out of meaty throws. States landing from jumps and air resets have 5 frames of throw invulnerability as well. Okay. Most characters' low-hitting normal attacks have had their number of active frames increased, making them more likely to hit opponents holding up, jump back, jump forward on their wake up and landing states. Okay. Low projectiles like Draken's neutral special, Red Ranger's special back roll into medium input follow up, and Mastodon Sentry's crouching heavy can now be blocked standing. Okay. So looks like we have more neutral block. Or standard block, standing, standard, whatever you want to call it. Incoming characters entering from both swap strike and knockout have more gravity and fall in more naturally. Additionally, incoming characters have to wait a number of frames before they can perform their aerial specials. Incoming jump attacks no longer halt forward movement during this falling state. The combo counter now properly stops counting hits in certain edge cases, aka uncombo combos. So that's another thing that they've gotten rid of. Certain attacks that fling the victim across the screen no longer shove the attacker away when the victim's back is to the corner. Okay. Wonder if that's going to be the same with Black Dragon Armor Tranny, where she has the special attack that literally pushes you across the screen to the other side. Alright, PvP match timer has been reduced to 200 seconds for competitive play, down from 300 seconds. Arcade and story mode timers are set to 300 seconds. Hit stun and juggle limit penalties now only apply when hitting the leader and no longer double up when hitting both leader and assist, preventing early air reset situations due to the juggle limit feature kicking in prematurely. Attacks can now always hit both the enemy leader and enemy assist for the entire duration of its active window. Wow. and not only if they connect on the same frame. Example, a single hit non-projectile attack that persists for a long time and travels across the screen can hit the leader and each assist once. Okay, so it looks like we have specifics now. We got Goldar up first. Super. Beefy hits of the super now scale according to the combo damage scaling system, slightly decreasing its overall damage, decreased overall advantage to make it easier to punish. Okay. Crouching Light, increased active frames. Standing Heavy 2, increased combo damage scaling increment. Reducing corner damage loops, increased hit stun, juggle limit penalty. Alright. Gust, back and heavy, remove the hit reaction portion of the attack. Now only reflects projectiles and moves the opponent away without interrupting their actions. Oh wow. Interesting. Fixed an issue where putting Goldar in a certain air hit reaction caused a soft lock state. Well, that's good. Kept getting stuck in the air on the switch. Alright. Moving on, we have Green Ranger. Crouching Light, increased active frames. The window at which Green Ranger can cancel into an attack, example Crouching Light, and the Crouching Light has been pushed back a number of frames. Crouching Light can be blocked standing. Okay. Standing Heavy attack. Reduced pop-up effect against airborne enemies, mitigating the length of certain corner loop combos. Jumping Medium and its follow-up can now be canceled with Airborne Special. Airborne Special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. Super. Increased pre-super camera phase and removed all invulnerability frames, 12 frames of startup before super camera, making it riskier to throw out in the neutral game. Alright, so that's Green Ranger. Let's go on to Cat. Crouching Medium, increased active frames. Crouching Heavy, increased hit stun, juggle limit penalty. Fixed an issue where putting Cat in a certain air hit reaction caused a soft lock state. Okay, that's good. I never used Cat, but good for the people I do. Airborne Special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. Super. Increased recovery and reduced block stun of projectiles to make the attack easier to punish on block. Super is now less likely to be punishable on hit in certain corner scenarios. Okay, so we're going to see a lot more people trying to do her super in the corner. Lord Draken up next. Crouching hurt box height has been decreased, shrunk down, normalized with other characters of his size. Finally! Crouching Medium, increased active frames. Crouching Heavy, increased hit stun, juggle limit penalty. Airborne Special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. I think that's going to be across the board. EX attack. Overhauled overall animation phases to prevent corner loop juggles. Super. Increased recovery to make it easier to punish on block. Super is now less likely to be punished on hit in certain corner scenarios. Okay. Next up, Magnet Defender. Back special counter. Magnet Defender is now vulnerable to all attacks for the first 6 frames. Wow. Counterattack Hurtbox becomes active on frame 7 and lasts for 22 frames. Also fixed an issue where Magnet Defender can dash cancel out of counter follow-up. Health increased to 1100 up from 1050. Okay. So he's even more of a tank. Crouching Medium, increased active frames, no longer juggle airborne enemies. Crouching Heavy, increased hit stun and juggle limit penalty. So it looks like every Crouching Heavy has had the juggle limit penalty increased, which means it's a lot harder to keep juggling using that attack. Alright. Airborne special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. Fixed an issue where Magnet Defender could cancel out of the recovery of his airborne special, neutral special, buckshot, reduced chip damage, and meter gain on block for both Magnet Defender and Victim. Forward special, charging slash, reduced startup from 29 to 28 frames. Wow. I mean, it's only 1 frame, but still, it's pretty fast as it is. Standing medium can cancel 2 frames earlier, making certain juggle combos involving charging slash easier. And super increased recovery and reduced block stun of projectiles to make the attack easier to punish on block. Alright, moving on. Mastodon Sentry. Crouching medium, increased active frames, triple shot, 1, 2, special follow-up, each now deal 50 damage, up from 40, so a little bit more damage on him. Airborne special now deals 50 damage, up from 40. Mine forward special now nullified and destroyed if its owner Mastodon Sentry is successfully hit while it's in play. Its duration has been increased and now deals 70 up from 60. Everything he's gotten a buff on. EX attack, increased damage, can now OTG and combo off of certain knockdown states, giving him a method of converting super gauge into damage. Last hit now causes wall bounce instead of sliding knockdown. Phase 1 hitboxes are larger, making it more reliable when connecting against airborne opponents. Jumping heavy, airborne special, added new aerial rifle sequences, allowing jumping heavy to cancel into air special back into jumping heavy. Okay, here's my girl. Ranger Slayer. Airborne special now nullified and destroyed if its owner, Ranger Slayer, is successfully hit while it's in play. Okay, good. That was kind of annoying anyways. Airborne special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. Arrow knock, neutral special, arrow knock buff stays on when Ranger Slayer blocks attacks. That's good. Alright, super. Increased recovery and reduced block stun projectiles to make the attack easier to punish on block. Projectile is much larger now, making it easier to connect with in juggle combos. Super now only detonates and transitions into second phase if the projectile connects with the enemy leader and never against assists. Okay. That's good, but it's also bad where she has more recovery time. Fixed an issue with Ranger Slayer's gravity not being reactivated after performing certain airborne specials extremely close to the ground. Okay, that's good. On to Red Ranger, crouching light, increased active frames, back roll shots, back plus special, and its follow-ups reduced damage, speed, and durability of shots, but can now shoot 2 shots consecutively with repeat inputs. You back roll medium, or back roll short, special. Standing heavy 1, heavy 2, changed air hit reactions. First heavy causes juggle, second heavy spikes down. Okay. Airborne special, increased knockback to make juggle combos easier to perform. Can now be used to cross up opponents in the corner. Airborne special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. Super. Increased recovery to make it even more punishable. That's tough for Red. Yellow Ranger, Gia Moran. Health increased to 1,000 up from 950. Crouching light, increased active frames. Super now hits more reliably against enemies close to her head, preventing unintentional cross-up situations where the victim is knocked behind her. Airborne special cancels. All jump attacks can now be special canceled. Super increased recovery to make it more punishable on whiff and block. Wow. Okay, guys. That's a lot of stuff to take in here. I like the changes that are made. It looks like they're trying to make the game more fair and reduce the ability to have touch of death on so many things, and I appreciate that. I didn't see anything listed for the new characters, if they have any. Like, we don't know what their health is or anything like that yet. I guess we'll have to wait for the update to come through to find out. But, guys, yeah, this Zybernite. Let's go ahead and chill the music. Hope you guys have a good night, good day. Take care. We'll see you later. Get ready for some updated on PS4 and Xbox One this afternoon or this evening for patch 1.2 on Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Take care, guys.